because of those questions that are not being delivered. So why are you still having, and how can I help you with it?
Usually, customer will be calling in, just giving you just a brief
Okay.
issue, and then that's the time that I do ask them the bottom line, or try to ask them the core, or the main issue that you're having. It's gonna be like a step by step
Mm.
that I need to do, because I sometimes don't want to um, what do you call this? I don't want customers to think that I'm just asking them, that I'm not understanding them. It's like a step by step, so I don't want them to be repeating their selves.
Mhm.
So I need to see other options for me to get to the bottom line.
I like
Got
those
it.
words, that targeting the bottom line. So when you say you're targeting the bottom line, how do you present your questions? How do you know what to throw out?
It really depends on the issue that the customer is having. So, um, probing, asking questions, understanding what the issue is all about.
So again, this is a follow-up. When you probe,
Mhm.
what are the two types of questions that you had to throw with your customer? In general, you know.
In general, for example, for if it's like a technical issue,
Mm.
I do ask them the basic, the one that I'm seeing on the TCOM. How long has it already been happening? Or have they already refreshed or did some basic troubleshooting steps on it? Those are some key questions that I do ask customers.
So when you throw out those
Particular.
questions, you check your decon and you kind of
Go. Yes.
go with it. Like I said, roughly we made those follow-up and we have identified a few calls right here that you still have those situations wherein you could have probed more
Mhm.
or dig deep, like what you said, the bottom line of the situation,
Mhm.
and you're still having challenges.
Okay.
Okay. So I wanted to work with you on how or why you're really having troubles whenever you ask questions. Is it A, you're really having troubles with what the situation is? That's the reason why you cannot really throw out the right questions?
Um,
What's preventing you to really dig deep to the situation when you're throwing out those questions?
Because usually it depends what the customers are saying. Sometimes they just give you information about the basic. Um, But when I ask deeper, it's gonna be a different situation. So I really need to ask them some questions pertaining to the issues that they are having during that time.
Okay. So do you feel you're confident in terms of asking those questions? Do you think you're still a little lost when throwing out questions, when identifying? Like I said, there are two types of questions,
Sometimes.
right? Okay. So those sometimes, why is it sometimes? Because,
Let's say, let's just say that I'm truly not that, what do you call this? Not, maybe it's not communication gap. What do you call this? Maybe I'm having difficulty in finding the right words to say to the customer, or right questions to ask the customer.
okay.
Sometimes that's the difficulty that I'm getting.
So you're having difficulties of what to ask
Yes.
with the given situation.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and make sure that we can make that not so, or you know, not having those questions ready.
Mhm.
So we'll still move forward about, you know, the same action plan that we have. Remember, if you want to know the whole details, you gotta throw up open-ended question,
Mm,
right?
okay,
You know what
yes.
an open-ended question is? What can you gain from it?
The direct response of the customers.
Okay. How about the
The issue.
close-ended questions?
Mm, this kind of, what do you call this? Mm, getting there. What do you call this?
Boo.
You
Okay.
lost.
I know you're lost. Again, if you want to know the situation when customer throw out, remember when your customer throw out a big word, why my bill is high, right? So what are the things that you had to ask with the customer? There's a lot, right? A lot of possibilities. But the point being is just throwing out a question of what they're really trying to tell you. If they give you a one word scenario, you had and you really don't know yet what to go or where to go, what to do, you had to throw those open-ended questions, okay? Like to know more about it. When you throw it an open-ended, it gives you more details of the situation of the customer. When you use that close-ended question, you're just confirming the understanding. So are we talking about your November bill? That's a sample of a close-ended question because you're just gonna get a yes or no. So you know when your customer asks you about why my bill is high, and you ask, okay, let me help you about a bill. This is for your November bill. So you're pretty sure that it's gonna be the November bill by throwing out that close-ended. Let's move and advance it a little more because you had to uncover what's with the November that she has issue about. Then you throw out another question. I have your November bill with me. I'm about to review your bill. So could you tell me more what portion of your November bill that you don't understand? So what do you think would be your customer's response?
So many questions.
Your customer, yes, you're right. Your customer will throw out starting those questions that you had on a bill. That gives you an opportunity to identify what part of the bill that you had to discuss with your customer. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So that's how an open-ended. That same goes with a troubleshooting style. When your customer tells you about a situation about their device, you just don't throw up questions that have you done this, have you done that. Okay? You had to walk through them in terms of what's really the situation of the device. Yeah, daughter.
Yep.
How do you ask your daughter when she comes to school after work? Oh, I mean after school.
I asked them what happened or what did you do?
Okay.
to-
What's your daughter's response?
There's a lot
Very
of
good.
response.
That's a perfect example of throwing an open-ended. Okay? If it's an examination day, I'm a parent myself, I ask my kid directly, how's your math exam? That's a definite answer. Or did you pass your math exam? That's a
yes.
close-ended. So do you get the logic in terms of asking?
Yes.
Okay. So I understand that you're having difficulties about how you should throw questions to begin with. All right. So what we will do moving forward is simply we're gonna play those calls. Remember the pause and play thing. Okay. We're gonna put it back. Okay. And this time I want to make sure that we'll incorporate another one, which is a pair of practice. Not just me. I want to make sure it's more natural than ever. We'll get a peer from our group that will present as a customer so that the reaction or the way things will be thrown will be as much as natural as it could be as a consumer. Okay? So that's what we have in mind. So we have that pause and play and a pair of practice. Okay?
Okay.
You had in mind, what are things that I could add more?
No.
Feel free. It's me.
It's your option. It's your call.
Okay. So, and again, this is just a follow-up because, like I said, you did have a wonderful friend on your IOCR. You got 25, 22, and we did project everything for your March, right? and your March week 1, like I said, it's 32, and your week 2 is around 21, which I advise you on. So it's going down on the right path.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to touch base those calls also that you have listened to. Remember, when you're gaining that clear understanding, eventually it will result to what?
Clear understanding, a better solution for the
Very
customer.
good. When you provide better solution to your customer, what would your customer feel?
They will feel that they are being taken care of.
Very good. And when you're being taken care of, what are you showing with your customer?
Me,
Me. Oh, you.
that you know what you're doing, and 100% that you will be able to
Result.
yes,
All right.
take care
Now
of
I
the
just
customer.
wanna rephrase those words, and your idea is correct that you're throwing up ownership on your call. And remember, ownership is our main ball game for this account. So if you're pro properly, you go ahead and, like I said, you'll be pretty much confident in all the delivery. You know what tools to go through. So that's the sequence, right?
Yes.
And then at the end of the day, you're showing your ownership. Okay.
Yes.
So those are the things that we had to do, and which would lead to, what do you think would happen if we kind of follow those things?
Good VOCs, good stats, and everything will follow.
Like,
My stats will be good. My VOCs, with regards to resolving customers' concern, and they are happy with what I did for them. They give me good scores.
alright. At the end of the day, what I'm trying to point out is that you feel a little better with your work.
Yes,
Okay? We don't
definitely.
work for free. We're being paid, and if you work those things out, we're pretty much would lead to a better incentive. Okay, so that would give you a more pay for all your hard work.
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
all right. So anything else that I could help you with?
Everything is being covered.
All right, and I'll talk to you later. Today's the 15th. I'll go ahead and talk with Jones with our follow through tomorrow.
Okay, no worries.
Are you good?
Yes,
You look
I
tense.
am.
Thank
All right,
you.
so guys, those are the questions.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Pamela. So thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Boss.
Okay, so that's a very good coaching session, and I know that we all learned out of that. Sorry for the challenges in the seats. So let's discuss the coaching session. Do you guys think that the agent is comfortable talking to us in front of everyone? Or do you think it's going to be a challenge for us to do it again, like for our upcoming calibration session, if we set the right expectation?
I think Pamela was just overwhelmed with
The people.
Right,
the
but
people
that's
and
actually
everything.
normal. That's
Yep.
normal because it's her first time. But if we're always doing this practice, I don't think that agent would be, feel uncomfortable if they're doing this. But if we just set the right expectation. So I want you guys to set the expectation to your agents, to your teams,
Mhm.
that we do have this action plan. Wherein they're not going to be the ones going to be focused on, but technically our way of coaching so that we will be able to help them improve their performances. Okay? So let's discuss the coaching session. I want to hear your thoughts about the coaching session. What did you get, or best practices, or if there's anything that can be improved in that coaching session. I want to hear your thoughts.
I want to start.
I'll be the last. I'll be the last. Okay, so what can you say about your
well,
coaching session?
I think I've coached Pamela in the past, and she's just not the way of her usual self in front of me. And like I said, that's because of the environment. Pamela would be more, engaged in terms of our talking, and I feel and I sense her. I'm not sure if the term discomfort is.
She's holding back.
She's holding back. She wanted to throw out things really, but I fell short in root causing. I think I failed that one. I did not establish what's the reason
But they're
behind.
being reason.
Yep.
She's forced to speak in English.
Yeah, probably that's one of the factor, right, affecting. How about you, Ina? What can you say about it?
Yeah, same goes with the environment. The agent is hesitant to tell um, what is the root cause or what is the main reason why still as you can see it's very it shows on I mean in her scores and she's having what do you call this she's not at ease with the maybe because of the
This is
personality that she has. You told us that she's a fear. Maybe one of the reasons.
How about myself? How did I do?
Yeah, how did the supervisor
I wanted
deliver
to know
his
how I
coaching
did
session?
Not
Because everyone would undergo this process,
Yeah.
right? And this is a very good session for everyone, for you guys to be comfortable in root causing, action
Yep.
planning, right? Talking to in front of everyone. So this is a very good session for us. So what can you say about a coaching session? Did you learn? Is there any opportunity that we can address?
What don't you like most and what do you like most?
Yeah, it's an open, honest communication for everyone, right?
Yeah. What I like most about the Brian coaching is he's very straightforward
Right.
when it comes telling what is or straightforward with the behavior of the agent and she even he even asks how can I help you with.
Right. That's a powerful statement, right? About you, Tim, there.
Well, one thing that I liked about the coaching session was it is very evident that you know your people very well, right? So it's there. One thing that I've learned in my previous coaching trials as well is that whenever you feel that the agent is already
Comfortable.
not comfortable with what she will be saying or what
Yeah, I
will be
mean, if you
answer.
learned that the last try session, right?
So one the suggestion for me is for you to guide her already
Right.
to go there.
Right.
Alright. And I've also seen like you focus too much with what is an open-ended and a closed-ended, which I believe took so much of your time.
Okay.
If we were in a 15-minute kind of a coaching session, it definitely would would eat that up. So if we could have like concised it just a little and have her just give examples instead of like explain what really
Agree.
it is, because when you give out examples like your daughter, do you have a daughter, or what would you tell her after school, and then that's a good thing. If you could have jumped into that example already before really kind of explaining it yet from her, it could have shortened the coaching session. So that's a great point. Also, the follow-up was very direct. Though the thing I was awaiting is when would be your next coaching session, which is something that has to be part of the log. So the follow-up was there. It's a follow-up tomorrow with Joms, but when would be our next coaching, and what am I gonna be expecting from you on our next coaching session?
Right.
Oh, if we're working with your probing question, what are we targeting, right? What would be my target within my goals or something like that. So if I should get like 5 for VOC or something like that. And I know that we are not working with the numbers, but working with the behavior will work on the numbers themselves. So if we have her a target, we know every agent, if you set a target, they'll aim for that. So I guess setting up targets and then the next follow-up.
Right.
I guess
So
is
that's
something
the
that-
smart plan, smart piece of the action planning. Right, I like it, Daryl. Thank you so
I
much.
wrote it down there.
How about you, Gene?
Thank you,
So
Daryl.
being a senior rep, okay, for Rika, Gene, Pat, you guys being a senior rep, what did you learn on how the coaching was done today? Did you get something out of it, or?
Yes, I like Tia Brian the way he coached Mommy Pam
Okay.
because he's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like family oriented. I really like that.
You like the analogy
Yeah.
part wherein where he asked if she had a doctor or she. Okay, so cool. How about your recap?
Knowing Tiam Brian's personality, I would like to give kudos to that because
Okay.
we know that the agent felt discomfort.
Right.
But during the silent moment, he was able to throw some jokes to make her feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned a lot the way you coach the agent and to drill down more on the behaviors.
Okay.
And that would help me since now that I'm gonna be focusing on team
Right.
version. That would really help me to improve more and move our numbers.
Very good. How about you, Pat?
Based on what I've arrived upon, because
Mhm.
I was actually helping OM there, so I like the way how TM
Brian.
no, TM Brian TM Brian coach. I mean, it's actually a good point wherein you really need to know what is the what do you call this, like how your agent felt the time that you were coaching them, because that really is important. I believe that's one way of getting your agents buy-in. You will be able to notice as soon as possible if the agent was really, really know what she needs to work on with. If she really needs to have answer those questions that he has, because what TM Brian was trying to do is get. He already has an answer in his mind. It's just that the representative was not really that at ease or comfort in terms of throwing the answers that he has. So you really need to know the agent as well in that specific way. And then what else? With the logs itself, I mean, smart action plan. I'm still on the like on a learning curve for doing action plan, something like that. So I like the action plan that he had, wherein they're gonna do the call listening, those kind of stuff, and then at least paraphrase or ask clarifying questions using open and ended and closed ended questions, something like that. So I definitely use that as well, so that the time that it's going to be my turn, so it's going to be a proper way as well. So there's still a lot of opportunities for me to capture, so I would definitely take much of my time on learning from everything,
Yep.
coachings
Alright.
as well.
Thank you. How about you, Mark?
Yeah, first of all, I like really this setup we're in. We get to observe other TMs as well. 'Cause, we only get to observe or hear feedbacks from our OMs whenever we do coaching session, and we don't really have the chance to witness other TMs to do their own. And it's really challenging. I mean, doing coaching session is sometimes really challenging, and it really takes a skill. It's a skill that that each TMs have to improve on a daily basis. And the most important goal here is that whenever we coach an agent is that they should have a takeaway. Otherwise, that coaching session is worthless. So if they didn't really learn anything at all, so they're going. Based on his coaching session, I pretty much agree with what Daryl said. There were the first part of the coaching session. There was a bit downtime, wherein he could probably have addressed if we're help the agent, or you said guide the agent where to go. If you see, because you wanna of course maximize the time that you have. And I like the part where there was a realization for the agent of like how to do the open and close-ended question when he gave examples. I think what's missing there is that the opportunity, because most of the time the whole time or the whole duration of the coaching session was mostly spent on getting like the root cause and the realization if the agent knows how to do this or that. I guess the first part of the coaching session we'll try to squeeze that and then we could practice, because if we try to just try to find out and not really put that into practice, I mean, the agent is probably just gonna forget that. Probably the agent yes, the agent will understand how to probably understand the difference between closed-ended and open question, but they didn't really had she didn't really had a chance to practice it.
Yep.
So there could have been at least 5 minutes dedicated for the role play session before she went out.
Right.
So at least she had a takeaway on the coaching session.
Okay, so I think I really love this session because everyone, I got a chance to hear your thoughts about the coaching session. I know that it's really gonna help everyone in the process of coaching, right? So I like all of your feedback on that specific coaching session. So for me to summarize my feedback on that coaching session, I agree to most of your feedback, especially this is a follow-up coaching session for the agent. So you were direct to the point, but setting of expectation whenever you have an agent on coaching, let's not forget about even though it's a follow-up coaching session, let's not forget about the meeting up with the agent at the onset of the call, the onset of the coaching session, not being direct on let's discuss this opportunity, these challenges. Are you guys getting the point? Like let's set the mood first of the coaching session, right? Not just by throwing that. Hey, we'll discuss today. We'll be discussing about blah blah blah. It's okay to say that, but the agent, as you mentioned, guys, is like uncomfortable talking to everyone. So let's set the mood first. By at least meeting the agent, asking how is she today, right? Just a quick touch base or meet and greet with the agent before you start the coaching session. As well as I like the feedback of the lag on the dead air, wherein the agent feels uncomfortable talking to or giving his or her answers from your question. So as what we've learned during the try session, or Daryl mentioned, is to guide the agent if she feels that she's not really comfortable or do not know what to say anymore. So guide her on that. On the root causing part, I have a question for you. Did Brian get the root cause of the agent based on that coaching session?
Yeah.
So
But it took long.
okay, so what's the root cause? Who got it? The root cause.
Well, it was mentioned. Sorry to cut. It was mentioned that the agent really doesn't know the words
Okay.
to say.
Right.
That's what I
Right,
got from
right.
the answer, which actually led to TM Brian asking, what do you know about the questions? What is open ended and then
Right.
what is closed ended, and that's where the conversation.
Right, very good. So basically, this agent really mentioned that she's really challenged in terms of asking questions, right? So we're gonna talk about the root cause. So that's the root cause of the agent. She doesn't really know how to ask questions, right? So one thing that I would probably add more is that dig deeper as to not just the open and ended close questions, but like what Mark mentioned earlier, you can probably for you to easily dig deeper into what's the issue or the behavior of the agent, you could have provide examples. That's what Daryl mentioned as well. Like for example, when you throw out, so why are you still having challenges? Challenges of what? So they're just not aware of what's the challenge, right? So give an example. Like for example, hey, Pamela, I'll give you an example scenario, and then throw out what questions you'd be asking to the customer, right? Let's say, for example, the customer has an issue about his phone. It's not working, or it's the battery dies faster. So how would you ask question? So something like that, so that the agent is not actually caught off guard. What's my challenges? So I'm not really aware of the specific question that you're throwing out. Are you getting the point? So throw out examples based on the calls that you've listened, right? So on the 4 calls that we've listened, we can provide those samples to her so that she can answer what are her challenges on asking those questions that we did not hear on the calls. Does that make sense? so that there will be no dead air on the conversation that the agent can easily answer, so you can still dig deeper to what's causing the agent not to ask question.
Right. Well, also one thing that was mentioned to me last time was, if you are in this kind of like a scenario or whatsoever, try to get a call of hers and then have it ready
Right.
during the coaching session.
Right.
Then the opening spiel, and then the part where the customer will state the question.
That's a play and pause.
The
right?
play and pause, and then have her think, well, what are the questions that you should ask?
Right.
And then let her hear what are the questions that you ask.
Right.
And then she will then realize, yeah, it's something. Then the realization comes in,
Exactly.
so she would learn.
Exactly. Like what
More from
Mark mentioned earlier. So during the coaching session, though you wanted to know what the root cause is, you can already like incorporate the action plan that you're planning to do for the agent. Like on that coaching session, you can already do the play and pause, and the agent can already answer, right? So that's already your action plan, but then again, you're using that to really identify what's causing this agent not to ask those needed questions. You guys get the point?
Mhm.
So you can do that. So that's what we miss in that coaching session. So go ahead.
Or from the part we're in, because he was asking, like, do you understand the difference? Because there are instances where probably the agent's not aware of the terminology.
Right.
Close and open-ended question. Probably I know how to do it, I just not know what you meant. So I guess if she's really having a hard time identifying that one, yeah, the play and pause would be. So I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll play a call. Try to give me what questions you would ask, and then based on her answers, we could. Okay, so the question that you just asked me is an example of a close-ended, and this example or this question that you just asked me is an example of open-ended. Then you could go from there.
Right. I agree. What I like on that coaching session is the smart sale action plan. So everyone is aware of the bankable leadership, right? So I like the part wherein you incorporated a sale, like you provided the importance of that coaching session, or the correcting the behavior, as well as what's in it for the agent, like that, the challenger bonus, the incentive, what are you going to get after you met this specific targets. So be consistent on doing that. Also, what you mentioned earlier, like setting up goals for the agent, so that's very important. Though you're right, we're not talking about numbers and we want to correct the behavior, but correcting the behavior of this agent would lead to what? Like how many percent of what do you think, how many percent of decrease on ISR would cause if you're going to improve, right? So don't miss that on a coaching session.
Okay.
Because basically agents wants to know how would it impact their numbers, right? Because at the end of the day, they're working on their performances. So do not focus on the numbers, but hey, Pamela, so if we're going to ask the right question, so out of the calls that I've listened to, based on the supervisor report, were in 10% of your calls were like this, blah, 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 blah. So basically that would, give you a 2% improvement on your ICR, so that you would go down to, like for example, 20%, so something like that. So give measurement or give targets for the agents. One more thing is, on the action planning part, what's the frequency of your action plan? So you mentioned that, hey, our action plan is we're gonna go do the role play and the play and pause. Like, when am I going to expect that? Like, how often are we going to do that? Right? So don't miss that. So remember earlier we mentioned that, hey, this agent needs additional coaching session, right? So hey, Pamela, because I really wanted to help you improve. So what's going to happen is that on a daily basis, we'll have a one-on-one coaching session, at least like 5 minutes of your time. We're gonna go play and pause a certain call scenario, and then you're gonna give me, right? So the frequency, because as an agent, they're expecting that, right? So make sure that you do have like a precise or exact action plan for the agent. How many times are you going to do the role play? How many times are you going to play the play and pause? Or how many times are you going to do that? Or is she only expecting that during coaching session? On the follow-up by tomorrow, right? Are you guys getting the point? So don't forget that. So I think we've covered everything. So what we wanted to do is next week, let's go ahead and try to listen to Pamela's call if we would see improvement, and we hope we would, right? Let's just do a quick follow-up on that. Let's see if she's going to improve, right? Because Brian would do a follow-up coaching session for her tomorrow. And those feedback that we gave you today, we are expecting that you incorporate that during your coaching session. I would love to attend and do another triad session with you tomorrow. So let's do that.
Do it on a triad session.
I'm sorry?
Let's just do it on our triad session.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that on a triad
Just
session.
on the track.
Right. Let's check
It's
the
a triad
improvement
tomorrow.
on the triad session. All right. So I don't think we can still listen to another call of Daryl or Agent Daryl, Agent of Daryl. So let's do that next week because we consume most of the time. But what can you say about this coaching session or this session? Very helpful, right? Okay, so I want you guys to be confident in terms of doing this consistently because this is for everyone. This is for you guys, especially for you guys, senior reps. You get a chance to listen to how TM coach the agent, that you can get like best practices, right? So thank you guys for attending, and I'll see you guys again next week for the third week call calibration, which will be facilitated by Daryl and probably Ina. And I wanna hear coaching sessions from our new attendees today. Alright? Okay. So but then again, your assignment, guys, is to set expectation to your agents that we do have this action plan so that we can fix their their uncomfortability level when they're here.
Yep.
I don't think that if we do that, if they know that we are doing this consistently, they'll feel still uncomfortable with the coaching sessions, right? So setting proper expectation. Again, thank you so much, guys, for attending. Any
Last word, because when I pulled out Pam,
Okay.
she already had the
idea.
the mindset
Very
of like, did I do something wrong?
Okay.
So something like that. So we can also try to let them know that, hey, this is something that we are working on to help me and also to help you, so that I can be efficient in teaching you.
Right.
So let us not dwell into setting up the mindset of the agents that, hey, I'm being called, I've done something wrong or
Right.
something like that, because it might create a negative connotation to them. So
Just.
Okay, thank you guys again.